Welcome to Time Well Spent, a podcast from LaborSync, the only real-time, multilingual timesheet software your business will ever need.
When we think about a business failing, the mind always goes to like some big dramatic event.
Right, a market crash or some huge PR disaster. But after going through this LaborSync blog article, the reality seems much quieter and, honestly, a lot scarier.
It is. It's almost never the one big iceberg. It's more like death by 1,000 paper cuts.
And that's what we're looking at today, isn't it? These silent money leaks.
Exactly. The idea that if your operation still runs on, spreadsheets and paper timesheets and that whole we've always done it this way mindset,
You're losing money.
you're absolutely bleeding cash. You just can't hear it hitting the floor.
The part that really jumped out at me wasn't just that manual entry is slow, but that it's almost like designed to be wrong. I mean, take the rounded hour problem the article talks about.
And it's so important to note that this isn't about employees trying to cheat anyone.
No, not at all. It's just human nature.
It's just how our brains work. You finish a job, you pack up your tools, you get in the truck. Maybe it's 4:47 p.m.
Right. But when you go to fill out that timesheet on Friday,
Your brain just defaults to 5:00 p.m. It just feels right. It feels true.
but those 13 minutes, they're so expensive. You multiply that by every day across a crew of, say, 10 or 20 people.
It adds up fast.
I was doing the math in my head. That's hundreds, maybe thousands of phantom hours a year.
And you're paying wages, taxes, and insurance on time that literally didn't.
That didn't even exist. Yeah, it's phantom time.
And that's just the payroll leak. It gets even worse when that piece of paper finally makes it to the office.
Okay, so what happens then?
Well, the research shows that just addressing data quality issues, so trying to read messy handwriting or fixing a misplaced decimal, that alone can cut operational costs by 10 to 20%.
Wow. 10 to 20. That's because you're essentially paying for the work twice, right?
Exactly. Once for the crew to do the job.
And then again for your office manager, who has a pretty high hourly rate, to basically play detective with what looks like chicken scratch.
Or to chase down a sheet that went missing. That's all time they're not spending on billing or on customer service or, actually growing the business.
The article had this incredible example, a logistics company. They optimized these processes.
I remember that one.
And they cut their fleet size by 10%. 10%. And saved over $500,000 a year.
It sounds wild, doesn't it?
It does. How does better time tracking lead to selling off trucks?
It all comes down to visibility. Before they were flying blind, their data was like scattered on whiteboards and in text messages.
A total mess.
A total mess. But once they went digital, they could actually see where crews were, how long jobs were taking in real time. They realized they were using their fleet so inefficiently that they didn't even need all those extra trucks.
So they were buying huge assets just to cover up for a bad process? That's a massive insight.
It is. And we often forget the human cost of these bad systems.
You mean like employee burnout?
Absolutely. Your best people, your high performers, they want to do good work. They don't want to fight with clunky, frustrating admin tasks all day. They get fed up and they leave.
And replacing a skilled employee costs a lot more than fixing the process in the first place.
Way more.
So the solution is automation, but I think a lot of people hear that and they immediately think micromanagement.
That's a common fear, but it's really about removing friction.
Friction removal, I like this.
It just takes away the boring, repetitive stuff. Like there was a manufacturer mentioned that saves $60,000 in rework costs.
60,000? How?
Simply because the automated system caught a process deviation early on. They saw something was wrong before it became a huge, expensive problem.
Because they were dealing with facts instead of a gut feeling?
Precisely. Which really brings us to the question every business owner needs to be asking themselves.
Okay, what's that?
Do you actually know how long your jobs take, or are you just guessing?
And I suppose if you can't answer that with hard data, the question isn't whether you can afford to streamline, it's whether you can afford not to.
That's it right there.
This episode of Time Well Spent was brought to you by LaborSync. Track employee hours and job site locations in real time from any device. Start your risk-free trial today at laborsync.com.